Hello there, welcome to the channel. This is Vinod Narayan. Today I have a very interesting book. It's been very famous over the past few months. I think last year one of the book that a lot of people have been talking about. Small book. I don't have the book with me. I took it from the library and I read and I had to give it back. There was a lot of hold for the book. It's Oliver Burkeman's 4,000 Weeks: Time Management for Mortals. If you've heard about the book, you know what it is about. It's even the title, which says 4,000 weeks. So if you were to live till 80 years, that is roughly about 4,000 weeks that you have to live. That sounds very little, right? That means you've got just 4,000 weekends. Forget about weeks. 4,000 weekends. So if you're going to party, you're going to just party 4,000 times. 4,000 seems so less, right? And that's where time management for mortals comes. So as I started reading the book and I was going through it, one thing that was in my mind was, how many weeks do I have left? And I figured out that I turned 50 2021. So I got about 1,500 weeks. So about two-thirds is gone, done, finished. So one-third of not your most healthy, you can do it all life. But still, you've got that. It's better to realize it when you're 50 than realizing that when you're 60 or 70. I mean, even then, it's better to realize it before you have none left. So the whole idea of the book is not to tell us that we have to be worried about the time or try to squeeze more into it, but try to manage time knowing that we are mortals, that it's going to end at some time or the other. And when we know it's going to end, how do we look at life? How do we prioritize things? How do we look at life? How do we look at work? How do we look at meaningful work? What does living for so many weeks really mean? What do we leave behind when we live for 4,000 weeks? Okay, just let's take 4,000 weeks. Let's take 1 week. As I read the book, 1 week was over. I mean, reading the book cost me a week. I mean, not fully, but still. I mean, that's how it goes, right? And we don't realize that. How should 1 week be relevant for us? Forget about 4,000. How should 1 weekend be relevant for us? What are the things that we do that are meaningful, that make sense? That tomorrow when we look back, we'll say, you know what? That 1 week that I spent, that was good. It's worth it. If I had chance, I would do it the same way. Or when we look back, we think, you know what? If I could just rewind time, if I could just go back, just once, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do this. But we don't have the time. So I think that's what it's a small book, so I don't want to keep talking about it. How much time am I ready to spend talking about a book that tells us that the time is limited? Not much. So I will leave you there, realizing that we all are mortals and coming face to face with our mortality. It's better to come face to face with our mortality, know about it, and think about it on a regular basis, not to make us feel sad, but make us or help us find what is priority and what is important. I think it's better to think about it that way on a regular basis than reach a point when you're forced to think about it. I think that's one thing. If I got from that book, it is that think about mortality before you're forced to think about it. And that by itself would change the way we look at life. Because, I mean, we can rush, we can stress, we can run, we can go fast and fast and fast and fast. But it's all the same destination. Whether we run, whether we walk slow. And when I talk about this book, there's another book I have to mention which completely changed the way I look at life, which was Carl Honor's In Praise of Slowness, the slow movement, the importance of going slow instead of rushing through things. Whether it is food, whether it is sex, whether it is walking, anything, going slow. So maybe I'll talk about that book sometime later. I read that book, Carl Honor's book, I read long time back. So again, as I said, this is, though I'm introducing one book to you, but if as I talk that leads to another book, I'll do that also over here. Because the whole idea is to talk to people about reading and books. So I'll just talk about in Praise of Slowness also, because I think that book is very relevant in comparison with 4,000 Weeks. Because Carl Honor, he talks about, he's got TED Talks, so you should probably search Carl Honor and watch his TED Talks and read the book as well. So I think that's one book really changed the way I look at things, because we rush through things. We always say that, you know what, I've got back-to-back meetings. Or I'm so busy. I worked 18 hours a day. What does that really signify? There was a time when I used to listen to, when I started my career, I used to listen to people saying that they had back-to-back meetings and they had 18-hour days and all those things. And I used to think that's how you should be. And there was a culture of that sort. But now, when you look at it, you need free time. If you're going back-to-back meetings without time to do your work, if you are working for 18 hours, 19 hours a day, one thing, you're going to break down. It's not going to be sustainable. Another thing, you suck in time management. You're not able to do your things properly. Either you can't seem to do work properly, or there is some process problem. There is something. If there is a pattern existing in the organization and that pattern is not being addressed. There is a work culture of some people that is being forced down other people. So if you expect that a company could be run with people working for 18 hours, once in a while there are night outs, there are multiple days that you have to work, and there are some things that demand and everything, but not on a regular basis. For some people, it also becomes a habit saying that when you ask people, how is it? Oh, busy, man. Whoa, what does that mean? Why? I mean, okay, you're busy today. Is that how always you are? Back-to-back meetings. What does that mean? Why do you do back-to-back meetings? Nothing gets done in meetings. In all meetings. There are some meetings, if you have a problem, you need to find a solution. You get people together, you huddle, you get things done. Yes, that happens. But not meetings, because there was one meeting I remember attending a few years back in a company that I worked. So there's a lot of these VPs and a lot of people drawing a lot of salary from the company. Okay. So there was about 10, 12 people. I think the cost of that 1 hour meeting is thousands and thousands of dollars, just because how much the company pays for these people on an hourly basis. So I was just not on that top level, but these people were talking, and at the end of it, since I was the one who initiated that meeting, so people could talk and get something. So I was asked to schedule the next meeting. And so all these people are there, VPs and everyone. So I said, I can't. And they looked at me, why? Why you can't schedule the next meeting? Now you need to tell me what the result of this meeting has been. And that's when people started thinking, because no one thought that the conclusion of the meeting, what did we do? What did all these people sitting over there for 1 hour really accomplish? I said, if you say that this is what is accomplished with 1 hour, okay, and this is what we need to accomplish for the next 1 hour, and I just joined the company, so I don't know how things work as well. So if you're going to set up another meeting, then you need to know what you want to accomplish. Okay, if you did not accomplish what you want, in this meeting, you need to figure out why you didn't accomplish and go into the next meeting aiming to accomplish and not making the same mistakes that you did here. And I mean, you can't bring 10 people into a meeting, everyone goes through the meeting, and then at the end of it, you just had a meeting to schedule another meeting. And when does that end? And then I agree, people will keep saying, I'm busy, back-to-back meetings. But it's meaningless. It's worthless. You know how much money goes down the drain because of meetings in our economy? I think that's where a lot of money goes. And people attend meetings for many reasons. People attend meetings because they think that if they don't attend the meeting, they'll miss out on something. It's the same FOMO, fear of missing out. Okay, if I am not present over there, that'll impact my career. I am not visible. Just to be visible, you're there in the meeting. I've seen people who get into the meeting have absolutely no idea why they are there. And there are some people, you ask them a question, they'll say, sorry, can you come again? The person has not even been listening to the whole thing. They don't know what is happening. They've not been there. They're probably physically there, but they're not there. And you have to repeat it. Imagine all the time that is spent on repeating a question in meetings across the world. Do you know how much time that would be? You know how much money that would be? So then why? Okay, we're not talking about meetings. We were talking about a book. We were talking about the book 4,000 Weeks by Oliver Burkeman. And also about Carl Honor's In Praise of Slowness is what I did mention otherwise. Oh, I'll leave you all to the next meeting that you have to attend. Back-to-back meetings. Busy. 18, 20 hours work. Be content, be pen positive, stay safe, and please be kind and subscribe to the channel and also listen to my podcast, The Penpositive Outclass. Thank you.